Democratic Party released a video today with a man stating his name is Albert Veliu and declared that he is witness X from the previously released audio tapping where it was said he was discussing drug trafficking with Agron Jafai. The EU and the 6 Western Balkan countries who are currently attending the Sofia summit are expected to approve today an agreement for improving infrastructure connections, security, the fight against radicalism and illegal migration. The residents of Kutundiri in Durrës protested today in front of the Durrës municipality demanding immediate solutions to the recent flooding that has affected their houses. Good evening, it's 6 o'clock on Thursday, the 17th of May 2018. Welcome to the English edition of Aura News. My name is Alexandra and I'm here to bring you the day's top stories from across the country translated into English. The Democratic Party have now published a video with sound and images claiming to be an interview with who has been known as Witness X, following the audio broadcast published by the DP last Monday. The DP claimed that the audio published last Monday involves Witness X talking to Agron Jafai about drug trafficking. I am Albert Veliu, 51 years old. I am unemployed and I live off my son's salary. I have been in Italy. I worked in the sea from 1993 to 1999. In 2000, I came back from Italy and then I started working with Agron Jafai until 2002. We sold cocaine in Italy. I had worked as a speedboat companion but gave it up in 2000 when I could not afford to live anymore and I had 2 near-death experiences. Agron and I met in 1999 through a friend of mine. We discussed the prospect of work in Italy. We commenced the work, which involved importing drugs and selling them. In 2005, an accident occurred at work and as a result, I was sentenced to 7 years imprisonment. I was caught in Pescara, accused of having 12 kilograms of cocaine in my possession. I completed the sentence that they decided for me. At the first instance, I received a sentence of 15 years in prison, but on appeal, it was reduced to 8 years. As I had already been imprisoned for a year, I was required to serve another 7. Agron Jafai did not come to meet me when I was in prison. When I came out of prison, I came to Albania and met him. He offered a job to my son as a waiter in 2016. That year, my 22-year-old son started working. He worked for 6 months as a waiter, but struggled with the home economy and left the job. 4 months ago, I asked Agron Jafai to do me a favour by selling hashish in Italy. We would take it from Albania and bring it to Italy. I asked him for this favour and he directed me to Ermal, so I put him to a test. Agron Jafai commands Vlora. He has continued doing this job the whole time. Ermal was the delivery man. He sent the drugs from Albania to Italy via speedboat. I am doing this because Jafai left me in the mud and turned his back on me, said Witness X, now known to be Albert Veliu. So why did he hand himself over to the DP? I came to the Democratic Party because I have faith in them. I'm not dealing with politics. On the first day that the audio tapping came out, my son told me, "Father, you have become a famous figure in Vlora." I was with my friends drinking coffee. My son's boss told me that it was my voice. After we talked, my son went to the Chief of Serious Crimes and he had told my son, "I will meet your father to take on his defence." But we do not want defence. These are the real facts. I have nothing to do with the audio tapping. It has been created by others. Where did it come from? For this, you should ask Agron Jafai, said Albert Veliu. SMI Chair Monica Kruemadi has accused the Prime Minister, Rama, of having betrayed Fatmir Jafai, claiming it was Rama himself who recorded and released the audio. The defence he made for the Interior Minister has nothing to do with the Interior Minister because Rama was the one who pulled it out and recorded Jafai. It was he who betrayed Fatmir Jafai and today he says that he will keep Fatmir Jafai in his post. Parliament is in the hands of the gangs and organised crime rings. Parliament has died and we are here to remind Rama of this fact. Rama's resignation is the only way we will see the opening of negotiations. Without the resignation of Rama, there is no EU future, declared Monica Kruemadi. The SMI leader has no doubt that the audio tapping is genuine, but according to her, the worst concern is how the Prime Minister's brother and other ministers are using the institutions to enrich themselves. Audio tapping is very simple. We hope to prove its authenticity and I have no doubt that it's true, so it does not bother me at all. It is not here that there is a problem. The problem is the capture of state institutions. Minister Jafai's brother will be held accountable before the law. The problem is that the brother of the Prime Minister and the other ministers use the state institutions to empower and enrich themselves while in the process depleting the people. Agron Jafai should be responsible for what he has done in his life. He must take responsibility for himself and to the institution with which he did not execute his sentence. The problem is that they are using state institutions and Albanian businesses to launder their drug money in Albania. This is the real problem, reiterated Monika Kuramadi. The SMI leader suggested that the people take justice into their own hands. Kuramadi made this statement to journalists outside the Assembly following the opposition's departure from the parliamentary session. Prime Minister Rama has arrived in Sofia, Bulgaria, where he is attending the Sofia summit between the European Union and the Western Balkans. The head of the Albanian government was hosted by the Bulgarian Prime Minister Bojko Borisov, who currently holds the presidency of the European Council. President of Kosovo, Hashim Thaçi, as well as the Belgian Prime Minister, Lithuanian President, Swedish Prime Minister of Estonia and of Finland have all arrived in Sofia. The European Union and the 6 Western Balkan countries, Albania, Kosovo, Macedonia, Serbia, Montenegro and Bosnia and Herzegovina, are expected to approve an agreement for improving infrastructure connections today. The agreement also includes provisions for improving security, the fight against radicalism and illegal migration. The signing of this declaration, the language of which has become part of long debates within the European Union countries, will be the conclusion of the summit between the European Union and the 6 Western Balkan countries. The meeting, which is the first of its kind after 15 years, aims to reaffirm the European future of the countries of the Western Balkan region. The joint statement carries with it the spirit imposed by the Spanish Prime Minister, who did not attend today's meeting because of his attitude towards Kosovo's independence. Spain is one of 5 European member states that do not recognise Kosovo's independence. It is expected that the final statement will refer to the Western Balkan countries as partners, a compromise accepted by Spain, who in the wake of problems with Catalonia have increased their rhetoric against Kosovo. The European Council President Donald Tusk said in today's meeting that it was an opportunity for both sides. The Pink Embassy, tasked with protecting LGBTI rights in Albania, has asked the Assembly to approve the draft law for the recognition of gender identity. This means changing the current law on civil statuses so that courts can recognise and reflect on identity documents when changes to one's gender have been made. Currently, Albanian legislation recognises only 2 genders, male and female, and does not allow any opportunity to change gender when a person over the age of 18 makes the decision to change their gender based on identity. The first proposals of this draft were made 5 years ago, but the initiative has never found the support from the MPs in the Assembly of Albania in order to gather the signatures and pave the way for the changes in the law as requested by the LGBTI community. The pre-prepared draft law became part of public discussion today, May 17, as it marks the International Day Against Homophobia. A situation was created by the spring floods in the area of Këtundiri in Durrës after the Erzeni River overflowed. According to residents, this has occurred as a result of discharge from the hydropower station at Bolvila Reservoir. Water has surrounded houses, covering the streets and many hectares of land. The situation has remained problematic for 48 hours, and this morning residents of this area protested in front of the offices of the municipality of Durrës. But the residents urged for immediate measures to be taken to rectify the situation. They warned if their demands were not heard, they would be forced to take more extreme action, as according to them, no compensation has ever been given. They have requested a meeting with the mayor of Anjushtarko and tried to enter the building by force. Following the dense rain across the country, which lasted for several days, several areas of Kruja were also flooded. The lack of medical services has been worrying residents and vacationers on the beach of Tale for many years. The closest emergency centre is in Tale 2, but there is no ambulance service. The service must be taken from the leisure hospital located 25 kilometres from the coast. 1 year ago, a Kosovar citizen lost his life without having received any first aid after the ambulance became stuck in traffic. Shënkol's administrator, Albert Veliu, says the lack of ambulatory services during the tourist season is a very serious problem. Last year, a Kosovo citizen lost his life on the beach, exclaimed Albert Veliu. At the Regional Health Directorate in Leisure, it is stated that, in cooperation with the Health Ministry, the case is under investigation. The director, Zoya Zefai, says that the service will be guaranteed during this coming summer. Emergency services are expected to be operational during the tourist season, confirmed Zoya Zefai. During the summer season, Thale sees its population rise tenfold, meaning there is a greater possibility of the needing of emergency services. And that's the news across the country today. Thank you for watching our English edition this evening, and be sure to join me again every Monday to Saturday at 6 p.m. for the latest news from Albania. Once again, on behalf of Aura News, thank you and good night.